We're joined to talk about the NFL and how it's managing through this season by Eben Novy-Williams, who's a sports business reporter at Sportico. Eben, thank you for coming on. It's obviously a big business decision and challenge for Roger Goodell and company to get through. Do you think he's serious about threatening that teams might actually forfeit games? What'd you make of that latest move?
I think he's serious to a degree. This is obviously a last resort if you're the NFL, and I don't think Roger would do something as serious as force a team to forfeit unless it was a last resort. But this is the price of doing business as a $17 billion enterprise that relies on 15 live events every weekend in a pandemic. And as you said, the league, went the first 3 weeks fairly easily without any major kind of COVID positive test scare. And that wasn't true in week 4. So now that kind of the reality has hit the league a little bit, I think Roger and the other owners realized that, hey, maybe it's time to send a little reminder to tell players, to tell coaches, to tell teams that, the protocols are there for a reason, and that if you end up breaking them and things happen that force, a bigger postponement than we saw this past weekend, that there'll be ramifications for that.
Right. The Titans, I don't believe, had any positive tests today, so they're trying to get through that. We know about the Cam Newton test, which made a lot of headlines with New England. The big thing for the NFL, though, obviously it's the most contact of sports. It's a high, you get tons of contact, and they're not doing it in a bubble. And we'll see. I mean, there's really no option, right? Maybe later in the year, would they ever think about doing some conferences in a bubble if things got tough, or you just have to call off the season if we have more outbreaks?
Not only would they think about it, I think they're already thinking about it and talking about it. I would not be surprised if, they try to do the playoffs in a bubble or even something maybe more dramatic, depending on what happens. The big variables here, the biggest one, obviously, is what this second wave looks like, and there are scenarios in which I could see no fans at NFL games at all in December. I could see kind of a lot more stadiums having a lot more fans. I think a lot of it's going to depend, one, on what's happening nationally with the virus, and then two, kind of from a more micro level, what's happening with the NFL. If they can avoid having situations like the Titans are in right now for the rest of the year, I think they're going to be fine. But if what happened with the Titans becomes a thing that is a weekly thing at a different team around the NFL, finishing this season in the way that they've laid it out, which is essentially, leaving the schedule as is going to be a tough proposition.
Have you looked at the cost structure for the teams and the leagues and, how much they're spending on COVID just to be as safe as they possibly can, how much they're losing by not having many fans in the stands versus how much it's worth it to stay open and, have the television networks broadcasting their games and when it makes sense to keep going versus cut it off? I mean, what do the costs look like this year?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to say exactly. I mean, the one thing going for the NFL, more so than any other league, they're way less reliant on in-person ticket sales, concessions, et cetera, right? There's only 8 home games a year versus 81 in Major League Baseball. The NFL's TV, they make $7 billion a year in TV ratings, right? That's way more than even the next closest league. The NBA isn't even at $3 billion. So just the finances of the league as a structure like that already makes them in a better situation than a lot of other sports teams. So no question, they're going to lose money. Losing ticket sales certainly hurts some teams more than others. If I could offer you, what the Cowboys made in ticket sales versus what the Bengals make in ticket sales every year, there's obviously a huge discrepancy there. But the league is also working to provide financial options for teams, right? In the past few months, they took out $3 billion of loans, just to give you a sense of how strong financially the NFL is. $3 billion of loans, all rated A or A+ by Fitch. So there's options there for teams if they want it, and the league is in a better shape than maybe the NBA or MLB.
That's a good point. Came in a better financial situation, which helps you deal with this. Eben, thank you. Good stuff on the NFL from Eben Novy-Williams at Sportico.